Hello and welcome back to Coin Jam, and today we're going to take a look at this brand new $2 coloured coin that was released on Thursday and has kicked up a bit of a storm in the coin collecting world. If you're not familiar with it, it's to celebrate Australia's firefighters, who obviously gave a lot to us during the bushfires of last year and constantly do a great service for us, and they've been honoured with this $2 coin. It depicts a male and a female firefighter on the engraving, and features a colour centre of flames, and it's quite nice, and it's coming into circulation and has been released on carded versions and on collector's rolls. And there's quite a bit to say about it because there's a few different things about this release than previous $2 releases, and also a few words to say about how it's been received. So to start with, the coin was available as a cement version. If you can see very closely there, you'll see a tiny C, letter C there. That's called a mint mark, and the C stands for Canberra. And they've been producing this C mint mark version of $2 colour coins all the way back to the red poppy, which was the first colour $2 coin. And if we look at the previous release, which was earlier this year, of the end of World War II, this was the C mint mark version of that coin. Comes in a little card that can be folded but doesn't come folded. And the one before that was the police on 2019. Obviously the police and firefighters make a nice pair, and a lot of people obviously supposing that maybe a ambulance or health service one is to follow perhaps next year. We don't know yet. So things to note about this one is that they've switched from this thinner foldable card to the rigid harder card that's not foldable, which is the card they typically use for their other 50-cent releases and some 20-cent releases. So it matches that scale and size and format. The cement version was $15 RRP, and it, as before, has a mintage of 40,000, which is what most of them get. Certainly all the modern ones have got that, and they generally tend to make all 40,000, if not very slightly less, but almost always the full 40,000 because it is that popular. And then they also, for the first time this year, this coin, they released this card version, which is a smaller credit card size version, and that features the standard coin without the cement. So this is the exact same coin that will be released into circulation, and it's taken from the circulating supply. The cement ones are produced as an uncirculated finish, so they get preferential treatment. They get a slightly better strike when producing the coin, and therefore the condition of those coins is invariably quite high. The coins in these cards are the circulating finish, so they're exactly the condition, the manufacturing process, they're the exact same coin that would go to a bank or you would potentially find in your change. Obviously this has not been circulated, so this is going to be in pretty damn good condition, but it is a circulating coin, and therefore the way it's manufactured is not quite to the higher standards of the uncirculated coin. And the process in which they handle these coins, even through the mint, is they go through barrels, and they can knock each other around. So there's a higher chance of, even though it's uncirculated, there's a higher chance that there'll be some minor scratches and dings on it from being handled with a lot of other coins. But they've never released a circulating coin like this before when they released the new $2 coins. They have been credit card size versions like this produced by Downies, but they produce those themselves. They're not an official RAM product. This is the first time RAM have decided to do it. Because it's a circulating coin, they've put an unlimited mintage. So we don't know exactly how many of these will end up being made. It will kind of depend on the demand for it. But certainly it's going to be an interesting experiment for them. And not pictured because they're not released yet, but they were on sale at the same time, is the collector's rolls. So when I say a roll, I mean a paper wrapped roll of coins, and with an official Australian mint wrap. So something similar to that, but with this particular coin in it. So they went on sale for dispatch mid-November, and they normally, when releasing rolls in the past, they've always limited them to 5,000 rolls. However, this time, they have increased that to 7,500, so a 50% increase. Because of the sheer number of people collecting these rolls, they felt the need to make some more. The other thing, and the reason they're being delayed and not ready for dispatch yet, is that they are getting a new feature, first time ever on a RAM roll, a sticker that will go. I'll take this back out of the case. So there will be a sticker, presumably where the wrap meets, that will go over there and will be a way of authenticating that it's a genuine collector's RAM roll. Because recently, unfortunately, certain rolls that were rejected due to mostly being the coins being not the right way round, and they ended up finding themselves in bank machines and into the public's hands, and it kind of caused a ruckus in the collecting market and dropped the value of certain rolls because there was actually more than we thought, even though they're not officially the formal ones. They're, for all intents and purposes, the same. So this time around they've decided to act on that and put a sticker over it that authenticates it as one of the 7,500 only collector rolls. So should there be any reject rolls of the firefighter coin that ever come to light, they won't have that sticker on them, and so we will know they weren't ever one of the genuine ones. The only real reason the reject rolls ended up in people's hands is because the mint thought that the banks would end up breaking them up and they wouldn't ever be found as rolls by the public. But because of the COVID situation and various other variables, a lot of them went straight into bank machines and were found that way. So that's why things have changed. So these rolls were $100 RRP. That's twice the face value of the coins inside. There's 25 coins in a roll for $2. And yes, the C mints were 15, and this single carded coin was 10. So those were, yeah. So that's the seals were new. This one was new. The format of this card was new. Otherwise, it generally is the same as previous releases, but the collector market has been going a bit crazy this year. I think partly because of a natural growth in collectors, and partly because of the virus causing people to get bored at home in lockdown and get into new hobbies. But it certainly has been a busy year for collectors, and a lot of things have gone a bit crazy. There has been a bit of a slump recently when people are finding money tighter, but when there's a hot new release, it doesn't seem to be stopping people from wanting those new releases, and this seemed to be the case with this one as well. Despite the fact they made 50% more rolls, they sold out within hours, basically within minutes in some places. The RAM don't actually sell these directly from their own store. They're only available from their authorized dealers. And so each dealer has to try and get as many as they can, and they're only allocated so many so that all dealers can get some. So, certain dealers may only have 50 or so of them each. The larger dealers like Downey's probably have a few hundred or more, but those 7,500 go pretty quickly when shared around all the dealers. So each dealer sold out very quickly, and some released them on sale at 1 minute past midnight, and some waited till the morning of the day of release. So yeah, they were very popular. That was not really surprising. We thought maybe with the extra 50% it might be a little slower, or maybe people were turned off a bit by all the reject rolls, but it seemed not. They all sold out pretty damn fast. The cement also did sell out within a day, and that was a bit surprising. The World War II one took, I think, a few weeks to sell out from RAM, and but sellout was essentially assured. It was just a case of how long, but no one really expected to be quite so fast. The uncirculated coin obviously has an unlimited mintage, but they obviously only made so many initially because they were unsure of the demand, and that actually sold out of their initial supply not long after the cement did. They did then put it back on sale, but with the advice that they won't be dispatching them till December. So obviously they exhausted their original supply and having to mint some more, which of course they can do because it's unlimited. So it's obviously done quite well, unless they didn't make many at all, who knows, but it's certainly doing quite well. The cement, the one controversy with the cement is when it first went on sale early in the morning of the day of release on the RAM shop. They set a limit of 100 per person, which seemed incredibly high, and they later revised that about an hour or two later to 25 per person, which still seems quite high. And so that the belief is that that's why they sold out so quickly, because a lot of prospectors were stocking up in large quantities, probably based on the fact that all prior cements always do well. Even the worst, even the police one is probably the one that hasn't grown the most, but even that's still worth at least twice its RRP, and some like the World War II are more like 3 times its RRP. So everyone was keen to get their fill of the firefighter one, as it was a reasonably assured bet that it was going to do well. So obviously, of course, as soon as it sold out, other channels started to crop up showing they had them for sale for a great big markup. So a lot of arguments were being made about why they should have been limited, and how people are ruining it for everyone by trying to make money. So it's a bit of a supply and demand kind of issue, but there we have it. It did sell out, and the market will do what it will do. So that's basically, in a nutshell, the new firefighter coin. And if you didn't get hold of one, then you'll have to look out. I think initially, as of the recording of this, people are only starting to now. It's only been a few days, so people are only now starting to receive their orders from the mint. And obviously, depending where you live, that might take you a bit longer, depending on how your postal service is doing right now. But I suspect there'll be a lot of them on sale in the coming weeks, and the price will probably calm down somewhat. I think it was initially after that first sellout that people panicked and paid pretty much anything what people were asking. Once a lot of people get them that want to resell them, then the market will be flooded, so to speak, and it will calm down. But I don't think it's ever going to be going back down to close to the RRP. And so if you can get one for a good price, I would recommend you do so, because they will then start to slowly rise again, and probably will settle around the $50 mark that this one has done. Or it may only do what this one's done and be more around 30, 35, but considering it was 15 to start with, it's still a good value. So there was other things released on the same day, and there has been other releases that we have not covered in our videos. So stay tuned. We will be covering other stuff. This was the last major release from the RAM for the year, so we will get a bit of a break until probably end of Jan, early Feb, when they come out with the next batch of things for the new year. But we will be covering some of the things we haven't yet covered. So yeah, stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below if you have some views on the new coins and how they've been sold, and we'd love to hear that. And yeah, we'll be back soon with more videos. Thanks for watching.